Welcome to Top Rare Coins, your ultimate destination for discovering the hidden treasures of history. On this channel, we explore some of the most fascinating and valuable old coins from the United States. From rare pennies and silver dollars to historic coins worth thousands of dollars. Each piece has a story waiting to be uncovered. Whether you're a collector, a history lover, or just curious about coins you might have lying around, this channel will guide you through the world of rare U.S. coins, helping you valuable finds and learn what makes them so special. Don't forget to subscribe and join us as we uncover the secrets behind America's rarest coins. Here is a professional, engaging, and long-form YouTube script, around 1,200 words, for your video. Welcome back to Top Rare Coins, the channel where history meets hidden treasure. Today, we are diving into one of the most fascinating and mysterious coins in American numismatics, the 1970 Liberty 1 cent with no mint mark. This small copper coin might look ordinary at first glance, but collectors and experts know it holds a story that could be worth a life-changing amount of money. Imagine finding a simple penny in your pocket, only to discover it could be worth over $1,000, and in rare cases even more, depending on its condition. That is exactly why this coin has captured the attention of collectors all over the world. Let's begin with the basics. The 1970 Lincoln cent was part of the long-running Lincoln penny series, first introduced in 1909. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the obverse features the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, one of the most respected presidents in American history. On the reverse side, you will see the familiar wheat ears design used before 1959 or the Lincoln Memorial design used after. By 1970, the Lincoln Memorial reverse was standard, showing the Grand Monument in Washington, D.C. Now here's where things get interesting. Most 1970 pennies were produced in two main locations, Philadelphia and Denver. Coins from Denver carry a small D mint mark just below the date. However, coins from Philadelphia during that time typically did not have a mint mark at all. So, you might be wondering, if Philadelphia coins normally have no mint mark, what makes the 1970 no mint mark penny so special? The answer lies in rare varieties, minting errors, and condition rarity. One of the most talked about variations is the 1970 No S proof penny. While proof coins are usually struck at the San Francisco Mint and carry an S mint mark, a small number were mistakenly struck without it. These are incredibly rare and highly valuable. But today, we are focusing on circulation coins, the everyday pennies, especially those struck in Philadelphia with no mint mark that exhibit unique characteristics. Some of these coins feature what collectors call a small date variety. When comparing the 1970 small date to the more common large date version, the difference can be subtle but significant. The numbers in the date appear thinner, and the 7 in the small date sits slightly lower compared to the other digits. Additionally, the word Liberty often appears sharper and more distinct. Now combine that small date variety with a high-grade condition, and suddenly you have a coin that collectors are willing to pay serious money for. Condition is everything in coin collecting. Coins are graded on a scale from poor to mint state. A coin that has been in circulation for years, scratched and worn, might only be worth its face value or slightly more. But a coin that has been preserved in near-perfect condition, with sharp details, original luster, and no visible damage, can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. In some cases, exceptionally preserved 1970 no mint mark pennies have sold for over $1,000 at auction. And when we talk about rare errors or top population graded coins, the value can climb dramatically. You may have heard claims that such coins can reach values of $1,200 or more. While extremely high values depend on rarity, grading certification, and market demand, it is absolutely true that certain examples of this coin are highly sought after and command impressive prices. Now let's talk about errors, because this is where things get really exciting. Mint errors are mistakes that occurred during the production process. These can include double strikes, off-center strikes, die cracks, or even double dies where the design appears duplicated. Double die obverse is especially valuable. In these coins, you might notice doubling in the lettering, particularly in Liberty or In God We Trust. These subtle details can dramatically increase the value of a coin. Another important factor is the coin's color classification. Lincoln cents are typically categorized as brown, red-brown, or red. A full red coin retains most of its original mint luster and copper color, making it far more valuable than a darker brown coin that has oxidized over time. So, if you happen to find a 1970 no mint mark penny that is a small date variety, in mint state condition, with a red designation, you could be holding a coin worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Now you might be asking, how can you check if you have one of these valuable coins? First, take a close look at the date. Compare the size and shape of the numbers. Look carefully at the 7 and how it aligns with the rest of the digits. Second, examine the surface of the coin under good lighting. Look for any signs of doubling in the letters or numbers. Third, check the overall condition. Does the coin still have its original shine? Are the details sharp and well-defined? If you believe you have a rare variety, the next step is to get it professionally graded. Companies like PCGS or NGC specialize in authenticating and grading coins. A certified coin not only confirms authenticity but also increases buyer confidence, which can significantly boost its market value. Let's also discuss why collectors are so passionate about coins like this. Coin collecting is not just about money. It's about history, discovery, and the thrill of finding something rare in the most unexpected places. Every coin tells a story. The 1970 penny represents a moment in time, a piece of American history that passed through. Today, we're diving into one of the most fascinating and misunderstood coins in modern American numismatics. The 1980 Lincoln 1 cent with no mint mark. At first glance, it may look like an ordinary penny, something you might overlook in your pocket change or even toss aside without a second thought. But what if I told you that one of these coins could be worth thousands, even up to $1,200 or more, depending on its condition and rarity? Yes, you heard that right. So stay with me until the end, because this small copper coin might just change the way you look at your spare change forever. Let's start with the basics. The 1980 Lincoln cent features the iconic profile of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, a design that has been part of American coinage since 1909. On the reverse, you'll find the classic Lincoln Memorial design, which was used from 1959 to 2008. These coins were primarily made of 95% copper and 5% zinc, giving them that familiar reddish-brown color collectors love. Now here's where things get interesting. Many people believe that a coin without a mint mark is rare or an error. But in reality, coins produced at the Philadelphia Mint traditionally did not carry a mint mark until 1980. So technically, a 1980 penny without a mint mark simply means it was minted in Philadelphia. So why is this coin gaining attention in the collector world? The answer lies in condition, rarity, and high grades, and subtle minting variations that most people miss. You see, while millions of these coins were produced, only a very small number have survived in near-perfect or uncirculated condition. Coins that have no scratches, no wear, and retain their original mint luster are extremely valuable to collectors. And when we talk about value, condition is everything. That a circulated 1980 penny without a mint mark may only be worth a few cents. But when you step into the world of high-grade coins, especially those graded MS65, MS66, or higher, the value can skyrocket. Some exceptional specimens have been valued at hundreds, even reaching up to $1,200 or more in top condition. That's a huge jump from just 1 cent. Now, let's talk about what makes these coins so special in high grades. First, we have luster. Mint luster refers to the natural shine a coin has when it is freshly struck. Over time, this shine fades due to handling and exposure. A 1980 penny with strong, original luster is highly desirable. Second, we have strike quality. Coins are struck using dies, and sometimes the pressure or alignment isn't perfect. A well-struck coin with sharp details, especially in Lincoln's hair and the Lincoln Memorial, is much more valuable. Third, surface preservation. This is where most coins lose their value. Tiny scratches, known as contact marks, can significantly reduce a coin's grade. The fewer marks, the higher the grade, and the higher the value. Now here's something even more exciting. There are also error varieties and subtle differences that can make certain 1980 no mint mark pennies even more valuable. For example, look for double die errors. This happens when the coin is struck more than once at slightly different angles, creating a doubling effect on the letters or numbers. If you see doubling in the date or inscriptions like Liberty or In God We Trust, you might be holding something very special. Another thing to check is off-center strikes. If the design is not perfectly centered on the coin, collectors often pay a premium for that unique error. And then there are planchet errors, where the metal itself has flaws before the coin is even struck. These types of coins are rare, and when combined with high condition, they can fetch impressive prices. So how can you tell? If your 1980 penny is valuable, start by examining the coin carefully. Use a magnifying glass or a coin loupe to inspect the details. Look for sharp features, strong shine, and minimal damage. Next, check the color. Coins are often categorized as red, red-brown, or brown. A fully red coin is usually more valuable because it indicates less oxidation and better preservation. Then, consider getting your coin graded. Professional grading services can authenticate your coin and assign it a grade, which significantly impacts its market value. A certified high-grade coin is much easier to sell and often commands higher prices. Now let's talk about the market. Coin collecting has grown tremendously in recent years, with more people discovering the hidden value in everyday coins. Online marketplaces, auctions, and collector communities have made it easier than ever to buy and sell rare coins. A 1980 no-mint mark penny in average condition may not attract much attention, but in exceptional condition, it becomes a different story altogether. Collectors are willing to pay a premium for coins that stand out. And that's exactly what makes this coin so exciting, that it's not just about rarity in numbers. It's about rarity in condition. Out of millions of coins produced, only a handful remain in pristine condition today. And those are the ones that collectors are chasing. Imagine finding one in your old coin jar or inherited collection. Today, we're diving into one of the most fascinating and mysterious coins in modern American numismatics, the 1981 Liberty 1 cent with no mint mark. Imagine holding a simple penny in your hand, something most people ignore, toss aside, or spin without a second thought. Now imagine that same penny being worth an unbelievable $1,200 million. Sounds impossible, right? But stay with me, because today's story might completely change the way you look at your spare change forever. Let's start with the basics. The 1981 Lincoln penny, often referred to as the Liberty 1 cent, was minted during a transitional era in United States coin production. At that time, pennies were still primarily made of copper, just before the shift to zinc-based coins in 1982. This makes 1981 pennies already interesting to collectors due to their composition and historical significance. Now here's where things get exciting. Most 1981 pennies were produced in three major mint locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Coins from Philadelphia traditionally carry no mint mark, while Denver coins feature a small d, and San Francisco coins usually have an S.So. You might be thinking, if Philadelphia coins naturally have no mint mark, what's so special about this one? The answer lies in a rare and controversial variation. There are claims circulating in the numismatic world about an extremely rare 1981 penny with characteristics that go far beyond a normal Philadelphia issue. This coin is said to have been struck under unusual conditions, possibly involving a minting error, unauthorized die usage, or even experimental production methods. Collectors and experts believe that certain versions of the 1981 no-mint mark penny show unique features such as sharper details, unusual weight distribution, and distinct surface texture. These differences set them apart from standard circulation coins. But what truly makes this coin legendary is its rumored value. Some reports and collector discussions suggest that a perfect condition example of this rare variation could reach an astonishing market value starting from $1,200 million. Yes, you heard that correctly. Over $1 billion for a single penny. Now, before you rush to check every coin in your house, let's break this down realistically. Not every 1981 penny without a mint mark is valuable. In fact, the majority are only worth a few cents to a few dollars depending on condition. The extremely high valuation is tied to a very specific, rare variant that is believed to exist in extremely limited numbers, possibly even a one-of-a-kind specimen. So how can you tell if you might have one of these rare coins? First, examine the condition. High-value coins are usually in mint or near-mint state, meaning they show little to no signs of wear. Look for sharp edges, clear lettering, and strong detail in Lincoln's portrait. Second, check the surface. Rare error coins often have unusual textures or finishes. If your coin looks different from a typical penny, smoother, shinier, or oddly detailed, it might be worth investigating further. Third, consider the weight. Standard 1981 copper pennies weigh about 3.11 grams. If your coin deviates significantly from this, it could indicate a minting anomaly. Fourth, inspect for striking errors. Misaligned dies, double strikes, or off-center designs can significantly increase a coin's value. That if your coin shows any of these signs, do not clean it. Cleaning can damage the surface and drastically reduce its value. Instead, store it safely and consider having it evaluated by a professional coin grading service. Now let's talk about the market. The coin collecting world is driven by rarity, demand, and condition. When a coin combines all three, its value can skyrocket. In the case of the 1981 Liberty 1 cent with no mint mark, the extreme valuation is based on its rumored uniqueness and the mystery surrounding its origin. High-end collectors are always searching for coins that no one else has. The idea of owning a one-of-a-kind penny, especially one tied to unusual minting history, creates intense demand. However, it's important to approach these claims with caution. While stories of million-dollar and billion-dollar coins capture attention and excitement, verified auction. Today's video is something truly special. We are diving deep into one of the most talked about and mysterious coins among collectors and enthusiasts, the 1993 Lincoln 1 cent with no mint mark. And what makes this coin even more exciting is the claim that its market value can start from an incredible $1.2 million. Yes, you heard that right. A simple penny, something most people overlook or even throw away, could potentially be worth more than a luxury house. But is this real? How can such a coin exist? And most importantly, how can you identify if you have one? Let's uncover the truth step by step. First, let's understand the basics. The 1993 Lincoln cent is part of the long-running Lincoln penny series, first introduced in 1909. These coins feature the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse for coins minted before 2009. The 1993 pennies were produced in large numbers by the United States Mint, mainly in Philadelphia and Denver. Now here's where things get interesting. Coins minted in Philadelphia typically do not have a mint mark. That means a 1993 penny without a mint mark is actually very common. Millions and millions of these coins were produced. So at first glance, it may seem impossible that such a coin could be worth anything significant, let alone over $1 million. But rare coin collecting is not about what is common. It is about what is unusual, unique, and often what is mistaken or flawed. The key to understanding the value lies in rare errors and exceptional conditions. Let's talk about errors first. In some extremely rare cases, coins can be struck with unusual characteristics due to minting mistakes. These errors can include double strikes, off-center strikes, wrong planchets, or even missing design elements. If a 1993 penny with no mint mark has a major and verified mint error, its value can increase dramatically. For example, a coin struck on the wrong metal, or one that shows a dramatic double die effect, can be worth thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. Now imagine combining a rare error with perfect condition. That is when values can skyrocket. Condition plays a massive role. Most coins that we use daily are circulated. They get scratched, worn down, and damaged over time. But coins that are preserved in near-perfect or flawless condition are extremely rare. These are graded by professional grading services and can receive grades like MS, 67, or higher. Today, we're diving into one of the most fascinating coins that might already be in your collection, the 1997 Lincoln 1 cent coin with no mint mark. At first glance, it looks like an ordinary penny, something you might ignore or even toss aside without a second thought. But what if I told you that certain versions of this coin have been known to sell for hundreds, even thousands of dollars, depending on their condition and rare characteristics? Let's uncover the truth behind this hidden gem. The 1997 Lincoln penny is part of the long-running Lincoln cent series, originally introduced in 1909 to honor President Abraham Lincoln. These coins have been produced for over a century, making them one of the most recognizable and collected coins in the United States. Now, here's where things get interesting. Most 1997 pennies were produced at different mints, including Philadelphia and Denver. Coins minted in Philadelphia traditionally do not carry a mint mark, which means if you find a 1997 penny without a mint mark, it was most likely struck in Philadelphia. But don't let that fool you into thinking it's common and worthless. While millions of these coins were produced, only a small percentage exist today in pristine, uncirculated condition. And when it comes to coin collecting, condition is everything that a regular circulated 1997 penny might only be worth 1 cent. But if you find one in mint state condition, meaning it has never been used in everyday transactions and still retains its original shine and detail, its value can increase dramatically. Now let's talk about what collectors are really looking for. The most valuable 1997 Lincoln pennies are those graded MS65 or higher. These coins have sharp details, no visible wear, and a bright, attractive surface. Coins graded MS67 or above are extremely rare, and this is where the real money comes in some cases. These high-grade coins have been sold for hundreds or even thousands of dollars at auctions. But there's more. Error coins are what truly excite collectors. If your 1997 penny has a minting error, its value can skyrocket. Some of the most sought-after errors include double-die errors, off-center strikes, or coins with unusual surfaces or misprints. Imagine finding a tiny mistake on a coin that turns it into a collector's dream worth a significant amount of money. Now, let's address a claim that often circulates online, that the 1997 penny without a mint mark can be worth up to $1.2 million. While that figure may grab attention, it's important to understand the reality of the coin market. Extremely high prices like that are usually associated with one-of-a-kind coins, historical rarities, or extremely rare minting errors combined with perfect condition. For a standard 1997 Lincoln penny, even in excellent condition, values typically range from a few dollars to several $100s. Exceptional specimens with rare characteristics may reach into the thousands. While the million-dollar claim may be exaggerated, the possibility of finding a valuable coin is very real, and that's what makes coin collecting so exciting. You never know what you might discover. How can you check if your 1997 penny is valuable? Start by examining the coin carefully under good lighting. Look at the surface, the edges, and the details of Lincoln's portrait. A magnifying glass or coin loupe can help you spot small errors or unusual features. Next, check the condition. Does the coin look shiny and new, or is it worn and dull? The better the condition, the higher the potential value. If you believe you have a high-quality or error coin, consider getting it professionally graded by a reputable coin grading service. This can significantly increase its value and make it more appealing to collectors. Another important tip is to store your coins properly. Avoid touching them with bare hands, as oils and dirt can damage the surface. Use coin holders or protective cases to keep them safe. Now, let's talk about why coins like the 1997 Lincoln penny continue to capture attention. It's not just about the money, it's about the thrill of discovery. It's about holding a piece of history in your hands, and it's about the possibility that something ordinary could turn out to be extraordinary.